Alright, so I didn't get it done with as much as I wanted to today. I had something come up, some computer troubles I had to work out, but I did finish what I set out to do in getting all the resources scattered throughout the map. Here's what it looks like. So there's one cluster of resources right there. So each one of these is one half of a grid cell. The map's laid out in a grid, 128 by 128 grid, and each one of these is one half of one of those grid cells wide. And so obviously I have to make these different shapes and different sizes and disperse them a little bit better, randomly place them in their grid cell, which isn't going to be very difficult to do. Something more like that would be what I'm going for. And yeah, so they're just kind of randomly skewing about on that 128 by 128 grid. Let's see if we can find another cluster. So I've been ran into kind of a snag. So the problem is that I have to have all of the box 2D bodies active in the world. I was thinking about, just having the bodies active wherever, if it was on the screen. But what happens if something moves from off the screen onto the screen? Once it's off, if it's not being processed, then we won't know if it's, if there's a resource way over here drifting this way, we won't know about it. So all of the resources have to be active in the world, and the Box 2D simulation has to be processing that for every single frame. So of course it's not going to work. Right now it's working pretty smooth, but there's no way this would work on Android. It would just be too CPU intensive, because the Box 2D simulation all happens on the CPU. None of it happens GPU side. So, and obviously finding resources is going to be a lot easier when I have a background, so you can kind of tell where you're going. I'm also going to have a mini map, either up the top left or top right of the screen, and that'll help out a lot too. There's another cluster. Because right now when you find them, it's like, where's the collection area, So what I'm going to have to work on next is figuring out how to run the Box 2D on a separate thread from the game loop. And the game loop is run on the same thread as OpenGL. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to figure that out. Come on. Just trying to push that. I think I lost my collection area. Yeah, I have no idea where I am. Okay. So anyway, let me show you what the map dispersity looks like. Is that a word? Dispersity? Yeah, I'll just show you a map. Let's see, I should be able to print this over here. So what this is going to do is just print a text-based version of the map with an X wherever there's a resource and a space where it's empty space. So that's what it looks like right now. So I think that's pretty good. That's a 100 by 100 map, I think. Yeah. So that's what we're working with. And yeah, that's all I got done today. So tomorrow I will work on separating the Box 2D simulation from the game rendering thread. And then of course I'm also going to have to work on interpolation, because if the Box 2D is being processed on a separate thread from the game, then they're going to be really far out of sync with one another, and so we're going to want to interpolate the direction, the positions of all of the entities. So Yeah, and you can see how it's kind of a bit choppy. I don't know if it's too obvious on YouTube, but it's, for me, it's a little bit choppy. I mean, it's pretty smooth right now, but this would definitely not work on Android. Be way too CPU intensive. So, all right, that's it for today, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.